Wait for my. Okay. Hi there. 1 second. Let me turn on the kid monitor because everyone's fighting upstairs. Hang on.
The what? Good evening, I guess. You want to say good evening, Sandy? Come here. Oh, yeah. Say good evening.
Sometimes daylight savings time is hard for adults, but it's also extremely hard for children. Who say like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's still kind of light out. It just got dark. Why do I gotta take a bath and get ready to go to bed?" Whew. Sorry about that. All right. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
I'm exhausted, but here we are.
Here we are.
Oh man, Sandy just got her attention, was really captured by this Hardee's commercial that just played as I was. I felt like my video was a little bit behind, so I restarted the stream, and there was a Hardee's commercial, and she saw these like big gigantic burgers fall down, and she was just like, "Whoa, what is this?"
I see that Golden Cane is saying, good music selection you had there. So that first track that was playing is from Blind Spot 2, their second album. Blind Spot 2 is the Sega SST band. And they did this really amazing version of Quartet Level 1, which is basically my favorite first level theme of any game. And it's like such a good version of it. I have been listening to it constantly. I'm glad that I saw some people said, "Oh, I really like this song." Yes. So you finished Analog Frontiers 3 today. It'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, barring some emergency, I mean, we
like if there's something like some major error that our spot checkers have revealed.
Yeah, we shared it with just a very select couple of people, and as I was telling Coury, short of them saying it spits at the very foundation of preservation, I think it's good to go. I just finished watching the full render. I had spot checked it because the first render there were some errors,
mm-hmm.
and I spot checked it in the error spots, and then I just for final confirmation, just for my own peace, I watched the full render from beginning to end, and I'm ready to let it go. Let it fly. Let it mingle amongst the internet people.
Yeah, and worm its way into people's minds. So I watched it this morning over my morning cup of coffee, and I hadn't seen any of it. Just like maybe little segments here and there.
I had shown you like a screenshot or two. I'd shown you like this audio comparison with Genesis 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Outside of that, you had seen quite little of this, considering this is like the longest and most involved episode we've ever edited.
Yes, I mean you shared that screenshot of the timeline, and I kind of like showed it to some other people. I said, "Look at this timeline." I mean, it's by far the most complicated edit that you've ever done. I mean, looking at that timeline, like no episode that nothing we've ever made had a timeline that looked like that.
It's very, very dense.
It's going to be really, really interesting to see the reaction to it, because there's a lot of stuff in this, and this is by far the most robust episode of Analog Frontiers that will be released. It's like there's so much in it, and basically it's set up at the very beginning of saying, as Artemio says, the public thinks that all this stuff has already been preserved. and the entire hour plus of the rest of the documentary is basically saying like, no, it hasn't, and here's all the ways that it hasn't been.
I mean, it's celebrating where we are with it, but it's also examining critically like the little minutia of where we're not there. We are not there yet. You know.
Yes.
A lot of the ways that games have been replicated, the result for the end user is there. It's fantastic. But from a preservation standpoint, there's still so much that we don't know yet about how to replicate all the hardware down to the most minute level, that, you know, stuff like that, like with decapping, is only just really being done. And, you know, to have that information be carried into the future so that future implementations, when they don't have access to the hardware anymore, so that it can be as accurate as it can be. You know, we still got a ways to go. And there are some things that are lost and will probably never be recovered. You know, one thing I discovered in the process of this episode, and, you know, I could be wrong on this, but I was trying to show a clip from the Satellaview broadcasts of like Zelda or F-Zero or any of those things where they have like the live audio on the Satellaview broadcasts. I thought, for some reason, I was under the impression that some of those like MSU1 versions on the SD2 SNES,
Mm-hmm.
I thought some of those did have at least partial original audio. Well, I couldn't find anything like that. And I could be wrong, but I cut that mention out of the script because, you know, it was like, oh, hey, here's this like really, this thing that's like so unlikely that we even have.
Right.
And then I was like, wait, everything on here is just like a reenactment, essentially. Like, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have the original audio for that stuff. Like, that stuff is, maybe a little bit of it will be recovered, but it's extraordinarily unlikely to ever be recovered. That stuff might not even be in anything that would be leakable from Nintendo, because a lot of that was through, like, it was called like Saint Giga. That was like the service that operated Satellaview, although Nintendo owned a stake in them. But I bet that live audio, like, especially not in any quality other than like a VHS, I bet it just doesn't even exist. And if it does exist, will it ever be found or recovered? Maybe not. I mean, it's crazy. I cut that part out of the script though, because like, I just, you know, I didn't know enough to say anything about it really. But I mean, you know, that's just an example.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in it. I think it's just really, really cool. And I feel like I wanted to watch it again immediately after it was over, because it's dense. It is dense, and I think it's fitting because, you know, the first episode was very easy to follow, and so was the second episode. But it's been slowly getting more and more complicated.
Right, and it's meant to kind of ease you into the complexity of everything. And the first episode,
oh, go ahead. I just like
the first episode was very much meant to be something that anyone, even if you have just the most vague understanding of video games or old games, you could be eased into it.
Yes.
You know, so the whole thing really is meant to be accessible to almost anyone, but you're right, it does ramp up. And yes, let me catch up on the donations.
Yes, I was going to say, I'm going to go ahead and start this game. For those wondering, I have not played this game basically at all, and I probably will need some explanations and help. And I'm going to be using the wireless Retro Fighters Brawler 64 tonight for the first time. See how this goes. And there's 3 donations, it looks like.
Yep. I'm going to catch up. There was 499 from Sean Quinn. Thank you. Saying we'll be able to buy Analog Frontiers on Blu-ray when it's complete, right? And yes, I know our track record on getting Blu-rays, making them available isn't super great, but this is that I definitely feel like we have a large motivation to get the Analog Frontiers Blu-ray out because I think a lot of people want it, and it's also just this like really tidy, complete thing that would just be really good for Blu-ray. I mean, Coury knows more about authoring Blu-rays than I do, but I suspect it's going to have to be 2.
Yeah, two or maybe 3.
Yeah, I mean, just to have reasonable quality, you know?
Yes.
And special features and stuff. 42, dang. You know, my original Mischief Maker save says like 16 or 17. It's always so weird going back and looking at that. And then there was $2 from Mitch B saying Analog Frontiers on VHS only. Well, I mean, you know, it is Analog Frontiers. You know, it's that would only be appropriate. You know, that's the whole logic behind why all of like the shots of anything that would be on a computer or off of a website is like shot off of that CRT monitor, because I can't have like JPEG compression artifacts or like video compression artifacts. There are at least none that are too bad. It's something called Analog Frontiers, you know. But I always like to kind of mask it and make it look like, you know, I want analog technology to look like something you could reach out and touch and use.
And I'll come back to this idea like a little bit later on in the stream, like after the donations are all gone through. Like I want to, because I talked about a couple weeks ago about potentially like doing something where we put select episodes on VHS, like each like every couple months or something like that. Because I have 700 VHS tapes that are they're not recording themselves.
So some of those 700 VHS tapes appear at the very end of Analog Frontiers Part 3. So then, whoa, there was Zoom Dust Strikes Again, $100.
Whew. Thank you.
Thank you. It's incredibly generous.
Thank you.
Saying collector's edition Analog Frontiers on VHS would be sweet. And, you know, we probably should do that. We should probably make like, I don't know, like maybe 30 for starters.
Why not? Why not 100?
That with a Blu-ray and see what happens.
Yeah. I'm into doing that.
If there's a lot of demand for it, we'll do more. That's definitely a good idea. I mean, I think people want it, so.
Thank you so much for that.
And then there was $3 from Container 7. Thank you, saying way to go, Try, even closer to finishing all of AF. I mean, whew, I hope that, you know, I would love for by June 3, 4, and 5 to be out. I mean, next week, I am moving straight on to 4. There's none of this break stuff.
So that means I'll be reading the script probably next week. I mean, after you do like any updates or whatever to the script.
I'm going to make some script revisions, you know, through the middle of this week. But then, you know, I don't know, maybe by Friday or something, it'll be ready for you to read. I just want to make sure that it's ready to go because it's been a while since I edited it, and, you know, stuff changes. So I want to make sure it's is up to date and accurate and fits what we want to do with it as much as we can. But yeah, I mean, I would, you know.
How do I talk to him?
I don't think. I mean, 5. I'm starting to think 4 will be under an hour. I thought 3 and 4 were going to be both pretty close to the same length. But I end up adding a good bit of stuff to 3, and it's an hour and 5 minutes. So I do think that 4 is not going to be nearly as long. But it's still gonna be pretty long. But I think 4 is gonna be one of the easiest ones to edit, believe it or not, even though it's so long. And that's mostly because a majority of the material, I believe, is already shot. It's kind of more of an on location kind of thing.
Right.
And then 5, the difference with 5 is not very much of the script is written, actually. But my expectation is it's not going to be a particularly long one. I think it'll be probably closer to the length of 2. I mean, there's potential it could even be shorter than 2. Maybe more of a epilogue than a full-on part 5, but that's probably underselling it because I think it's going to be pretty cool too. Yeah, I mean it's only just sinking in that I'm kind of past. I've just in the past couple of days overcome the biggest hurdle of the whole project. I mean, it's exciting.
Okay, so I can blow up the red. I see. I'm gonna just kind of be figuring this out.
I mean, the early levels are very much designed for you to play with the controls and sort of learn the ropes. I mean, it's very much the kind of game where you need to play around with the controls to kind of start to understand it, because it is a very unique controlling game.
Yeah.
For sure. It's always a very difficult game to just like jump into if I want to like record footage from it or something, because it's just like you can't really get used to it that quickly. Like these early levels do a very good job of easing you into it. And then there was also 20 pounds from Simon Etheridge. Thank you. Saying, after nabbing an almost perfect condition N64 complete in box for only 100 pounds and the DF stream of Turok 2, this stream seems perfect to keep up those N64 vibes I've had this week. Great work, guys.
Oh, I can jump higher if I hold up.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I was at, normally I would have streamed this week, but Coury said, if you're too wiped, I can stream today, and I am in fact too wiped. So I was like, that would actually be great. But I was thinking about playing something N64 anyway, because I wanted to try that FRAM pack that I just got. But I don't know if I'm going to do that next week or not. I don't know if I'll do two N64s in weeks in a row. But I'll try that FRAM pack sometime soon. Yeah, I saw John say that he was going to do a Turok 2 stream, but I haven't gone back to had a chance to go back and see it yet. Speaking of streams,
I can double tap.
I missed this, but I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch it because Game Dave did a stream on Twitch with Roy. Roy played Mario Paint on the Game Dave stream. And the little bit I watched so far was hilarious. So I gotta watch that.
It was very funny. I had it on for a while last night. Tapping B, holding down one card and buried treasure.
And then there was 50 pesos from Lunita Productions. Thank you. Saying, hey guys, when are you going to do a how to get the best picture out of the Atari Jaguar episode? We have talked with John and Audie often of, the post-pandemic world where there might be a JagFest in Germany again. It is Germany that JagFest is in, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's Germany. And we totally have to go to JagFest and interview people there and shoot stuff there. And I've been kind of thinking that could be the perfect vehicle for doing an RGB Jaguar episode. I think it'd be kind of awesome. I think that would be the most fun way for us to get into the Jaguars. I see Robert Carlson said a bit ago, shoot me dead if I'm lying, but I'd pay $200 for an Analog Frontiers Laserdisc release. You know, I mean, is it even possible to make Laserdiscs anymore?
I doubt it.
Is that a lost art?
It might be.
I mean, I don't think it would be as difficult to make new Laserdiscs as new CRTs, but I mean, who knows?
All right.
We got 499 from Sean Quinn.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Saying how much of it was filmed in 4K? Virtually all of it was filmed in 4K, but it is edited on 1080p timeline, and the reason for that is that gives you more zoom capability, so you can zoom in without losing quality. Just, you know, we felt there was no real reason to build Analog Frontiers as a 4K project. You know, but just take advantage of the 4K footage to, you know, just have better quality and more zooming potential. How about Ultra HD with Dolby Atmos and behind the scenes Sandy footage? You know, Sandy was going to have a cameo, and I just realized there was a couple of shots that I don't think I ever implemented. I was going to, like, in part of like the official emulation stuff, I was going to have a shot of me laying a shot like kind of from behind me playing emulated stuff on the Switch, and Sandy was laying on the couch. That's not worth delaying it for, though. I'm sorry, Sandy. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry, everyone. But I was going to have a cameo. You couldn't really see her, though. You just saw a brown, furry blob. You're supposed to shake certain balls. I forget which color. Maybe the white ones? Certain like if you shake them, that causes the stars to appear. You're like, I think it's the white ones.
Did they might have told
like
me
you
that.
might have to hit down. Is it down C?
Yeah.
I think maybe.
Yep.
Like you can discover certain things hidden inside balls if you shake them sometimes.
This has a pretty good soundtrack that I'm hearing.
Oh yeah. There was $20. Wow, thank you, from Bill Russell, saying Analog Frontiers in Real Video. Is that like Real Video Player, like the old computer viewing software? Gosh, I mean, I couldn't even tell you. I can't remember like what. I mean, of course, we were all looking at those on CRTs back in the time, so that probably masked some compression artifacts. But gosh, I couldn't tell you what kind of garbage that looks like. I wonder how many megabytes Analog Frontiers would be in that format. Then there was $5 for the love of the game with a comment that makes me a little sad, saying Mischief Makers is the ugliest 2D game I've ever seen.
Whoa.
Definitely the ugliest of the 5th gen. Still a fun game though. Well, I mean, I'm glad you like it. It's definitely a unique game, but I don't think it's ugly. I mean, I understand.
I
That
mean,
a lot
it's
of
a
people
2.5D. You know, and so you can.
Well, I
There
mean,
was
I
some.
don't know if I'll call it 2.5D. I
Well,
mean, it
like the
does have some.
ground. The ground looks
Well,
like
yeah,
it's.
it does have some polygon elements, but you know, a lot of people don't like you know, early pre-rendered stuff. But I have a big soft spot for it, for sure. I mean, it's always one of the games that, like, when I want to show off like D-Blur or something, I think it's one of the clearest examples of, you know, some of the benefits of it. I think. I don't know. It's always one of my favorite N64 games to show off. I mean, it maybe doesn't necessarily have the artistry of, you know, more of a hand-drawn sprite sort of game, but you know,
It's gonna take you a little bit of time to get used to it.
yeah. I mean, well, I mean, that's one of the reasons. Like the one of the first levels in the game is an amusement park, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of let you get used to it and just play around with it, and because it's an unusual game for sure. But I don't know. I like the look of Mischief Makers. It's
Yeah, I'm not particularly offended or anything by it here.
I like how it looks more than like Yoshi's Story. Even though like the quality of the actual like character renders is probably better in that, but and then there was 2 reals from Patricia Rodriguez with no message, but some intense fist bumping animations. Thank you. Fist bump to you too.
I can roll, so I'm invincible when I roll.
I don't remember.
Oh no, I'm
Well,
not.
like, you know, you know, if you were to like 100% this game, I mean, you really would have to master. I mean, I haven't. You would have to really master the controls though, because you have to like utilize like her jets and her momentum in some, you know, really complex ways. I mean, it's, you know, it's a game that you can definitely beat without, you know, totally mastering the controls, but
Okay.
you, you know, you will need to get better over the course of the game, because it's definitely an unusual game, but it's, you know, I appreciate there's really nothing like it, you know. And $5 from Rad Ranger, thank you, saying I can't wait for Analog Frontiers 3. Thanks for doing what you do. I enjoy it. Well, it took a lot longer to do what we do with Analog Frontiers Part 3 than I ever dreamed it would, but you know, here it is, and it's done, and you know, barring unforeseen complications, I believe we can relatively safely assume that it's going to release, you know, probably, you know, sometime tomorrow morning-ish, you know, sometime early tomorrow.
Grab cursor. It's a lot of reading here. I was not expecting it.
Well, I mean, you know, less so as the game goes on, you know. It's just it's a lot of learning to play. I'm hoping I'm not missing anything.
I'm trying to catch this person.
A lot to catch up. There was 10 euros from
Thank you.
Pyromaniac. Thank you. Saying your RGB masterclass got me into CRTs and original hardware. Multiple new systems and RGB mod consoles later. Can I blame you guys for my retro addiction? We will happily take the blame. That's our job, I guess, right? Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I should have probably played this tutorial before.
That's okay. Demo Kirby with $2. Thank you. Saying, when in doubt, shake, shake. And it's true. That's, you know, that is how Marina interacts with and understands her world. Is shake, shake. You know, that's the core of it. Shake, shake.
All right. I'm not used to using these C buttons so much.
Yeah, well, I told you that using that brawler controller, like this actually.
I think it's almost exactly the same, honestly. Like the placing.
The D-pad is like in less of a like main position as it would be on like the real.
That's true.
But I don't know. I mean, this is clearly a game that, you know, as much as Mario 64, if not more so, perhaps. Like, the developers clearly looked at the controller and just.
Whoa.
I mean, you know, I think it's often said, and plausibly so, that the N64 controller was made for Mario 64. But beyond that, you know, I think a game like this, like, they clearly looked at the controller and were like, okay, what is some kind of wacky mechanics?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, it's typical of Treasure.
That wouldn't make sense on any other controller, you know?
Yeah. So can I? Oh, okay. I can boost in certain directions.
We also got a $10 from old Steve at Retrotech.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saying, hey guys, I wanted to say thank you tonight for doing everything you do for this community and especially what you've done to help me. I always say yes to VHS. Well, I'm shocked to hear you say we've done a lot to help you because I feel you've done so much more to help us. I'm definitely looking forward to getting my my 20L5 over to you sometime. So I'm scared to turn it on anymore.
Well, Steve almost talked me into spending $6 a piece on BNC to RCA adapters. It is like he's just talking. He did a video a couple days ago on on good BNC to RCA adapters versus.
I can understand because usually they're awful.
Yeah, they don't have like a very good grip on anything. Okay, yeah. I can go this way.
Yeah, I mean for like, especially if it's going to be like a semi-permanent installation.
How do I do this?
There was $9.99 from T Soul. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, love your work, guys. Are you planning on reviewing and comparing the Analog Duo against the PC Engine line of consoles? Do either of you happen to have any idea when Analog plans to release it? I mean, yes, absolutely. I mean, you know, we haven't heard any details or anything. But like me personally, I'm actually more excited for the Duo than Pocket. I think more people are probably excited about the Pocket since it's like a unique offering, you know, like.
Am I missing something here? Am I supposed to be going someplace? I don't remember.
The Pocket is like a unique offering, and you know, having like FPGA stuff in a attractive handheld format. And you know that's really cool, and I'm excited about it too. But you know, in general, me be more of a play on the TV kind of guy. I am excited about the Duo, especially because you know, who knows how long my
okay, so I can do multiple dashes. I can go like up, and then left if I wanted to, or up and right.
Oh yeah, or you can do them simultaneously.
Oh, really?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I feel like I'm making a rookie mistake here.
But yeah, I'm excited because I mean, who knows how long my my drive will last in my PC engine. So I'm definitely excited about that.
Do I just...
I do know that I did email Analog when they announced it and was just like, you know, hey guys, excited about this, and also, you know, was just like, just so y'all are aware of, you know, of things in the community. You know, there's the YUV palette that has been developed, which you know, has more accurate colors than, you know,
oh, I see.
RGB. And then there is also the, you know, MD Fourier. You know, these are things that people will be looking at in reviews. So I'm just like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, might want to look into those things. So that would be very exciting if they would be using those. So we'll see. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. Oh, yeah, I forgot you could angle those spring things.
Once I do that, what do? I don't even know I'm supposed to do that at that point.
I don't know. And then there was, let me see. There was 50 pesos from Fernando Martinez. Thank you.
Back to the mom.
Saying, hi guys, is 400 a lot to play for a modded NES top loader?
Oh, do I gotta bring? Maybe I gotta bring him back.
Are you supposed to bring like a character somewhere?
I think that's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm saying talk to the mom. So I must have missed it. That's part
yeah, I kind of remember this mission.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to bring the kids back. See, the early stages are meant to teach you, you know?
Yeah. I probably missed like some sort of dialogue option.
400 for a modded NES top loader. I'm really not sure. I mean, you know, I was actually looking into this not that long ago because of that article I was writing. Because like the Tim Worthington, I mean, I don't, you know, I'm assuming you're located in Mexico, and I don't know like much about like, you know, who is known for modding, you know, in your area. But like I was looking at the cost of Tim Worthington's RGB board.
Must be missing one more. Oh, there's one up there. I remember now.
Which it's let me check how much that is. Yeah, here's the shop.
All right.
It is. It's 125 Australian dollars. Plus you have to have a $7 adapter board. And then like Voltar, last I looked, was accepting work for installation services. NES RGB top loader / AV Famicom. He offers service for that for $75. So, and an actual console, if you just bought a top loader NES, I'm not sure what those are going for these days. Like last I was looking at, I would say it was between 100 and 120. So there's probably like $100 extra added on to that price. So like if that tax, that $100 tax is worth it to just not have to deal with the hassle of tracking down the system, ordering the parts, shipping it to a modder and stuff. But, you know, you also have to be, you know, you kind of want to vet the modder's work to be sure they are, you know, reputable, that they do good, clean work. You know, that's always a concern. Obviously, you know, Coury, you know, before we knew to do any better, just bought a pre-mod console on eBay.
Yeah, and luckily I lucked out with it.
When we started learning that, like, oh, like that's, you know, kind of risky actually. Because we just, you know, there was a time where I think we just kind of had this idea that, like, gosh, if you even begin to understand how to do this stuff, then you must know what you're doing. It's like, it's all, you know, all this stuff is just magic to us. And you know, then we learned it was bad. Then, like, we learned that, like, oh, like, there's a lot of bad ones out there. And then you showed it to Voltar, and he's like, oh, actually, it's pretty good. So you got lucky.
Yes, I did get lucky.
So, I mean, if it's a reputable seller, I mean, you know, I mean, there's clearly a bit of excess in that price. But again, you know, I would assume that they do consider the fact that you don't have to track down the system, track down the parts and all that stuff to be part of the service. So I guess it just depends on if you think that all that's worth it. And I don't know right now how much top loader NESs go for.
Yeah, I've not been paying attention at all.
Or, you know, what the difficulty of, you know, the accessibility of them in Mexico or anywhere else. I do not know. You know.
All right, so am I supposed to feel bad when I use that giant thing to walk over these people and their ghosts float away?
I mean, I guess you're killing them, but, like, I didn't, like, the Empire, like, brainwash them or something. Like, they're controlling them, I think.
How are we doing on the
I scrolled down and now I have to scroll back up because, like, sometimes they don't load and then it jumps you to the bottom.
Oh, right.
We still got a lot of catch up to do. There is $2 from Aaron Welch saying $5 more, but only if Try reads this in 5 minutes. I think I'll try to respect the subsequent donations and not read this in 5 minutes. So how about $5 from Axiom? Thank you. Saying, love you guys' content. Quick question. What PVM should I look out for in the $500-ish range? Ooh, I don't, you know.
I feel like at this point, like, you should just be on the lookout for, like, anything.
Yeah, that's the truth. You know, maybe you're already talking to Retrotech in the chat here. I would definitely talk to him because he kind of knows a lot more about the, like, current pricing and stuff for them. I mean, you know, if you get lucky and find a place that is selling them that doesn't really know what they've got, then you know, you can get them for much cheaper prices. But you know, good ones, especially ones that may have been recently refurbished, you know, they're getting pricier. You know, a 20L5 at one point you could have easily gotten for under $500, but now absolutely not. You know, I got mine for like 300 some. So yeah, I always, if you don't have to have 480p, I would, you know, almost say don't worry about like the 20L5 or the BVMs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I always think that the M2, the 20 M2U MDU or whatever, like those are really accessible, pretty common as far as PVMs go, medical monitors. They've got 2 component / RGB inputs, which is great because then you don't need to have an expansion card to have both RGB and component connected at the same time. So I recommend looking for those. And, you know, in the past, I've gotten those for like $40 a piece. But I think they're more than that now, but I would suspect less than 500, surely. So I definitely recommend those. But, and, you know, to be honest, part of me has kind of started to like how 480p looks on like a VGA monitor more than like on the 20L5. I mean, obviously connecting 480p on the 20L5 is cool. But like I kind of like it on a VGA monitor. You know, obviously you would have to adapt, you know, component to VGA or whatever, but I kind of really like how 480p looks on one of those. Like that nice NEC monitor, VGA monitor I have. Even just that bare basic like consumer style one that I use for all of the off-screen computer stuff on Analog Frontiers. So I don't know. Like that would, at this point, that would almost be my recommended route. Like get like something like an M2 series or L2. I mean, those are pretty good too, you know, or I mean, just get what you can get. Like don't be dead set on an M2. You know, the only reason I suggest it is just because the fact that you can get 2 RGB inputs without an expansion card, RGB / component.
Yeah.
But like I would almost suspect it would be cheaper to get something like that plus like just a common VGA monitor with a, you know, like a component to VGA adapter or an HDMI to VGA adapter. Like you could use something like a Carby with a lag-free HDMI to VGA adapter, and GameCube would look incredible.
I like the line scrolling on the ground.
Just like a computer. Just on a computer monitor. So, you know, there's lots of angles you could approach it at. I also really like how 480p looks through the OSSC. We've also got $5 from Lucas Peruzovic, who is countering for the love of the games earlier comment saying Mischief Makers is the best looking game on N64.
It does not get better than this.
I mean, certainly.
I mean, I sort of feel like,
game,
yeah,
probably the best looking 2D game. Outside of something like, I don't know, like, well, I don't know, that Bomberman game is pretty good looking. I haven't played much of it though. That 2D Bomberman game on the Japanese one. I guess Dr. Mario 64 looks okay too. But in terms of like platformers, like this is pretty good looking. I mean, you know, if you're the kind of person that doesn't think N64 3D has aged well, you know, which I mean, you ain't no friend of mine if that's what you think. I'm kidding, of course. Very few of my friends think that. Yeah, it's certainly a game that is easy to show off, like mods and stuff for sure. I'm still catching up here. Y'all are crazy tonight. There was $2 from Demo Kirby saying Treasure made creative use of the N64 controller with games. Absolutely. I mean, you know, Sin and Punishment is like one of the very few, if not like,
oh yeah,
maybe the only that where like the default configuration is, or I'm not sure if it's the default, but I certainly think it's the ideal configuration of using the left middle controller position, which works fantastically for them. I mean, they clearly were very much thinking with their N64 games, like, what is something we could do with this controller that you couldn't do on another system, and what no one else does with this system. Like it's very.
No. Oh, how did I do that? How did I like float? I kind of fly a little bit. It was like my.
Oh, you like jumped back and then flew forward and jumped back again and then flew forward again. I mean, I'm sure if you watched like high-level play of this game, it would look like absolutely insane. Like I never got that good. Still catching up. There was $5 from Chris Schauman. Thank you.
Oh, I saw him pop up earlier. Chris is is probably my best friend. You know, Chris was the best man in my wedding, and we stayed with Chris when we shot the limited run games documentary. It's cool to see him in these streams. I mean, I have no idea like how often he watches. I don't know if he's still here. It might have been a while ago.
He says, Coury, I probably owed you $5 at some point.
It's probably the other way around, honestly. Because I feel like Chris, I've always been envious because he's always been like gainfully employed, and he's always been super good at whatever job he has.
Well, didn't you worked with him at EB Games way back?
Yeah. I worked there actually before him, and then he got the job, and then promptly became like assistant manager and then manager, and ran the store for a long time. Oh, look at that.
There was $5 for the love of the game, saying, Coury, you struck me as someone who woke up this morning with a blue moon in his eyes. Looking forward to the mini Saints of Newark. I have no idea what he's talking about.
I'm not familiar either. Sorry, I'm sorry. Maybe it's something that will come up later on, or that I'll understand later on. I don't know. It doesn't sound like something I know of. Okay, I just got a message from Chris saying I'm still here. He just sent me a message on Discord saying I'm here. I'm just lurking in the background.
Ooh, I think I am almost caught up. No one foils me. There was £5 from Beyond Ghibli, saying you guys are the best. Keep up the amazing work. Much love from the UK. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's under wraps, so I probably shouldn't say like what it is or anything. But he reached out to us and asked if we could help get some footage for an upcoming topic for him, and I said I'll do what I can. He seems to have a cool channel on all sorts of Japanese media topics. So
Am I
thank
doing
you.
this wrong? I feel like I can jump higher than I realize.
And then there was $5 from old Nicholas DeLeon. Thank you. saying, I do all of my retro gaming, some real hardware, some emulation on a VGA monitor because it was easier to get than a PVM. Cheers. Well, yeah, I mean, that's, I've honestly been so impressed whenever I have connected the OSSC to a VGA monitor, like especially if you like add scan lines. Like I've never been that into fake scan lines on like a modern screen. Like I'd rather just look at the clean pixels if that's what I'm doing. But they really take on like kind of a new appearance when you do it through a VGA CRT. I was at one point.
I see. I didn't realize I could hit them with that.
I was at one point kind of thinking about doing like looking at VGA monitors as like a PVM alternative. And I saw in the chat Retrotech Steve saying VGA monitors are starting to get hard to find too, at least the good ones. So yeah, I mean, but I think there's something to be said too about just like a bare bones, like basic, like consumer VGA monitor, like kind of junk that everyone had, that was very much why I used that one for most of the stuff in Analog Frontiers instead of like the really cool NEC one that I have. Just because I figured. So when you shake that, it resets,
right?
Blocks you. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking of like what, I wanted it to look more like, just something that anyone would have had. It's the plain RF on a wood panel TV equivalent sort of thing. There was $5 from Drew Eisel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying a guy had a whole shipping container full of Dell consumer 17-inch VGA CRTs. I held myself to 3. The stream looks great on VGA. Yeah, I mean,
I wish I had gotten a VGA monitor when I had that opportunity, like when you got yours from. I should have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy with the one I got. The Dreamcast looks awesome on it. I had several shots in I think the first couple of Analog Frontiers on it. I think there's only one shot on it in the new one.
No.
It looks like the levels are a little more straightforward at this point, I think.
Yes.
So it looks like you're kind of starting to get to. I mean, the first world is very much more of like kind of a playground, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like each level is going to have like a different focus. I have a feeling.
Right. I mean, there's definitely a gimmick for every level, for sure. But I'm kind of into that stuff, like Donkey Kong Country.
No.
Where every level has kind of has something that no other level has,
Right.
Oh, and there's 10 pounds from Start Select. Thank you.
Oh, I saw something a little secret there.
saying, I wanted to thank you for introducing me to retro gaming. I now run the analog subreddit. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Saying, we recently started a game club, and I'm already discovering awesome games as a result. Keep it up. Well, that's cool. That's actually the reason that Coury is playing Mischief Makers tonight, is because there's a game club on the MLiG Discord.
Right.
That shows Mischief Makers this month. I saw Henry Clark expressing much frustration.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's certain. I'm not sure where he's at on getting over that, but it's a challenging game because it doesn't really play like anything else, for sure. But me and my friend loved it back in the day when he rented it. Then several years later. I think he actually got for me for my birthday one year. Got a copy from Funkoland.
No, come. I'm jamming on the buttons too quick that I get overexcited about it.
This does
No, come on.
the Retrofire's controller has a turbo function, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean that you could probably really break some levels in this game if you did it right.
This is silly. I was like, I had it. Why am I? Maybe I'm accidentally hitting a button. Or maybe it's the controller. Let's blame it on the controller. Shh. This is ridiculous.
You're getting close.
I had it the one time. Does she bounce off the wall if you're too close to it?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I think I know this too. Why am I going the wrong way? Am I not hitting the... Maybe I'm just hitting the C buttons too much.
You can also double tap, but I think...
what is going on here? How am I... Yeah, I know I can do that, but you can't... Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. I don't know. Oh, I think I can just do it from right here, probably.
The bite was bit says, I have as many CRTs as physical copies of games almost.
Okay, now that I'm in here, what do I do now?
I don't know. Stream has kind of been a little bit further behind lately, it seems. Did we get it on... Did we get it off of the normal encoding or whatever?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I'm supposed to wait for the blocks. Oh, I see. Okay. For crying out loud, I feel like either it's just too sensitive or the D-pad is not good enough for this kind of game on this controller, or what?
There was $5 from old EB Chill too. Thank you. Saying, hey guys, I bought Sarara, Heroine Dream 2, and 3 other Japanese PS1 classics. I'm picking that old PSN store Carcass before it goes. Take care. I'm not familiar with that, so that's a game that's available on the Japanese PSN. I included a little shot of I included a shot of the PSN store, or not the store, but just browsing through my PS1 classics on my PS3, and then brief snippet of playing a game, and it was during a part where they were discussing is closed source emulation preservation, could they abandon the project and it later be gone? And I wonder how that clip will age, because what if 10 years from now you can still technically buy PS3 games through an actual PS3? I mean, I guess you can't do it through the web store anymore. That's my understanding. I haven't looked myself, but it'll be interesting. I mean, regardless, that is a concern. When will those go away?
Press down, and then A again to do a speed jump.
Voltar kind of brought up in his interview, what happens when all this download software on PS3 goes away. Because I feel like a lot of people kind of feel like that's the next to go.
I see. I don't know.
Magic Knight Rare, that has a brief appearance via emulation.
That's true.
And Analog Frontiers Part 3.
So do I have to... So, it doesn't seem to work the same way as if I... Oh, come on.
There
like double
was
tapping.
There's $5 from Larry Hastings. Thank you, saying Mischief Makers. Not to be contradictory, but I always thought Rocket Robot on Wheels was one of the best looking, or was the best looking game on N64. It is a pretty good looking game. That's by Sucker Punch, who went on to do Sly Cooper and Infamous and Ghost of Tsushima.
So does this not even work? Like if I just press, is the button different than the double tap? Because it doesn't seem like I can get the. Oh, I can grab her from the back.
But yeah, I have not played through that. I do have it. The cartridge actually appears in the Analog Frontiers part. Not a game, but the cartridge is featured in one shot. That is a game I need to play. I don't know if that's a game that saves on a controller pack or to the cart. If it is,
it's so silly.
That's what I'll play to test out that FRAM pack sometime soon-ish.
I seriously see some people talking about the MemCard Pro in here. I'm excited to get my MemCard Pro.
Oh yeah, I mean that really came out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah, but then it's like shipped and everything. It's so stupid. I don't understand why I keep on doing that.
There was 5 reals from I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna butcher this. Jean Carvalho Toledo. Thank you. Saying, is it true that we can achieve VIB blur by disabling video LPF on the OSSC? Mine seems to have worked pretty well. Honestly, I've never tried it. What wasn't that the function that was meant to, or I don't know if it was that function. They added some function to.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to be doing here.
They add some function to for like regular Super Nintendos to make them a little sharper, non-1 chips. Gosh, I can't remember if I even ever tested.
Do I gotta keep on pushing it until it like goes into the lava? Let's just go for it, see what happens. Okay. But do I take damage too?
See, I don't know. I mean, you want a low pass filter on your video at some point, or else you're going to see.
Yeah, I take damage too. How do I do that?
Can you like get them over the lava and then push them down in?
Probably.
I don't remember this boss, honestly.
And it only seems to work if I keep on tapping. Well, it blew up.
There was $2 from For the Love of the Game saying, the music is so bad. Is it got like some Buzzy Bee music or something? I don't remember this at all, honestly.
It didn't seem that bad to me. But yeah, did you watch Bob's video on the MemCard Pro?
Oh, I haven't. I saw he released it. I saw you talking to him about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. And it's funny because I say I'm excited for it so that I don't have to think about like messing with a memory card ever again. Which is,
if it works well, then I mean, especially, I mean, it seems like a perfect companion for the
X Station,
for the X Station, because yeah, you don't even have to think about it. It seems.
Yep. I mean, it'll take me probably a couple of days for me to get everything situated how I want, and because I have like all my stuff like all set up, like in archived and everything, but I probably have to figure out how to.
Are they totally sold out right now?
Yeah, but they should be restocking, I think, and like they said pretty soon they'll be restocking them.
I mean, if everything sounds good, then I'll probably try to get one the next shipment.
Yeah.
Because definitely, it like I said before, it kind of feels like it's like PS1 endgame, At least for original hardware.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, honestly, between
than PS1 digital, X Station, and memory, the memory card that like interfaces with those mods to like give you all the space you need. I mean, it's pretty crazy. There was $4.99 from Eric Schussler. Thank you. Saying playing Final Fantasy X for the first time on PS2 while listening to the stream. The game is surprisingly awesome to me. It's a fun popcorny RPG. Looks amazing too.
What game?
Yeah, I mean that was definitely one of like the early showpiece PlayStation games. I mean, I kind of feel like Metal Gear Solid sort of showed it up. Or, they both came out around the same time. Metal Gear Solid 2, I think, is more technically impressive. But Final Fantasy X is more, obviously has more varied environments. Is a little more fun to look at, I suppose. I think you can extend that wheel downwards. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it in so long. I've meant over these many years to actually play the HD version and still haven't gotten around to it. I've usually considered it pretty low on my overall Final Fantasy rankings, but I wonder how I'll feel on a revisit. I mean, I've beaten the whole thing twice.
I hit B. I got it.
So I mean, I obviously I don't hate it. I just generally like other Final Fantasy games more. But I mean, it's pretty nice and straightforward. Like it's really not that different from Final Fantasy X or 13, which we often have talked lately about how we feel like its reception might be better today because like now I feel like people are ready for like some straightforward RPGs again.
Yes.
I mean, Final Fantasy X is a
I don't know if I feel like things only work how I think they're going to work half the time.
Yeah, you can't say this game isn't unique.
Right.
It's it's definitely, I feel like a game that...
See, like right there, I mean, I feel like I was aiming to go to the next one, to the right, and it shot me to the left.
Well, maybe you should try a real controller at some point.
But I don't think it's that. I just think that certain aspects of the game require me to just like think differently about it, or be more
the intent.
like that.
I guess that is true. Pretty much everything does have a face, doesn't it?
Yeah. Is there
maybe
like what happens when I die? I feel like I'm going to die really soon. Is there unlimited lives or anything like that?
I don't remember.
It doesn't seem like a game like this would ever have unlimited.
It's not gonna like put you back to the beginning of the game, or like you're not gonna like go back to the beginning of the world or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like unlimited continues essentially.
I saw Sean Quinn earlier saying he really hates the fonts in this game. I don't know. I think the fonts are fine. They don't bother me.
People watching me play this are like probably thinking that it's an exercise in its own sense of sort of frustration.
For the love of the game, comes back with another $5 super chat saying, I think everyone is tired of RPGs that feel like second jobs, like Cyberpunk, Elder Scrolls, Witcher, etc. Bring back better pacing.
Yes.
It's
true. I mean,
I do like, I do like Elder Scrolls and stuff, but like I feel like that is like Final Fantasy, like traditional Final Fantasy's like biggest strong suit, I think, is pacing, because there's just like this excitement to the plot and the momentum of everything that's going on, and that's it always is so good at creating what Coury and I talk about often. We call them Final Fantasy moments, where it just feels like everything has been building to this like really cool scene that you've been anticipating this moment for a while, and they are, they move along snappily and stuff. And even though Final Fantasy 14 might fit your definition of a game that's a second job, I think the expansion storylines have really brought back that old Final Fantasy pacing feel, where you're just like, there's just like interesting things happening in the story all the time, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like I just can't wait to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Like that's what old Final Fantasy was all about,
Yeah, I definitely.
Super Nintendo.
Oops. Whoops. I mean, I definitely miss that kind of thing, and you know, I like a lot of Drag Quest games are very long, and I feel like that I shouldn't feel that way about Dragon Quest games sometimes, but I do feel like that maybe they're a little bit. At least I thought that 11 was probably a little bit too. Oh, come on, like, can we like make it so that the double tap down doesn't make me roll forward if I need to?
You know, before 7, I mean, they were mostly like 30, 40-hour games.
Yeah. I mean, even to an extent, as much as like, I'm just like sick of games that are like have to be like generally more than 40 hours. I mean, 40 hours is pushing it enough as it is these days. I feel like for me, even like ease games, I feel like are maybe getting a little bit too long, and those have always been very tightly paced until probably like 7. 7 is where.
Yeah, 7's pacing is not too good. I thought Celcetta's was better than that.
Yeah.
7 has a lot of like, go back to this area
right
to do this thing toward the end of the game sort of thing.
Like, why did that just happen?
I'll be really curious how Bravely Default feels in the pacing department, because I mean, obviously it seems that they seem to be positioning Bravely Default as their like
their RPG series.
They're like,
traditional style RPG.
If you want old school Final Fantasy, don't look for it in Final Fantasy. Look for it in Bravely Default. At least in terms of the gameplay system.
I guess
I had my issues with the first Bravely Default, so I don't know what I'll think of the second, but that's why I'm going to start that after I finish Fire Emblem Echoes. I'm pretty close to the end of that now, I think. I've been working on that game since November. Oh, we got $20 from Macho Nacho Productions. Good to see you in here. I've been hearing I've been hearing Bob name dropping you in some of the recent weekly podcasts. He says, "Hey guys, really looking forward to the next Analog Frontiers." Which I don't know if you were here earlier, but
tomorrow morning.
Any earth-shattering events, I'm expecting that to release tomorrow morning. It is upload and ready to go. But also says, also this game looks really difficult. Coury has way more patience than I do. Thanks for everything you both do. Well, thank you, and thank you for what you do too. For those who might not remember, Macho Nacho Productions helped us tremendously with the Game Boy IPS episode. Lent us a number of different models that I didn't have access to when I started realizing, like, oh, there's like a lot more things that I feel like I should cover in this and I don't have. And I was feeling pretty burnt out by the money that I'd already put into it. And then I found your channel and I saw, like, I was like, man, like, your stuff looks so good, and like, you've got all these things I need to look at, and I was just like, oh man, I hate to ask, but like, could I borrow some of these? Because I just can't put any more money into this project. He was very generous helping us out. He's got a fantastic channel where he puts together all sorts of mods, and he just makes it look really good and casual.
Yeah, I mean, if people like our B-roll, like, I feel like his B-roll stuff is like on a whole other level. It's very, very good.
He is very good at playing with like colorful lighting and stuff. I'm always very sort of. I'm not very daring with my lighting.
Yeah.
Coury's been getting really good at that lately.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with like the kind of other episode that I've been working on.
I feel like one reason you're able to do it more is because you've got the GH5 and it has better low light performance than the GH4.
Well, I mean,
I feel like you're able to get more out of sort of lower power colored LEDs than I am.
No, I think it's mainly because I have a lot of them though, honestly.
Well, yeah, you have a lot of them, but I think that also plays a factor. But you've just been a lot more confident, I think, in your lighting than I have. I play it pretty safe with, you know, not mixing a lot of color temperatures and stuff. Although I've been experimenting, but I just feel like you get better results than I do for whatever reason.
I don't know. So all the gems give me more health, correct? I mean, that's what seems to be the case.
I guess I kind of forgot. I remember. I think this level, or if it wasn't this level, it was a similar level with like the tilting world that was on the Star Fox Nintendo tape. not, I don't mean Nintendo tape like what old people call Nintendo games, but you know, the Nintendo Power tape, the Star Fox tape. I think one of these tilting levels, or it might have been this one. I don't know. I can't remember if there's another tilting level, but it was on that tape, and I just remember thinking, "Oh my gosh, that looks amazing!" Because like, you know, there was stuff like Castlevania 4, which I can't remember if I'd played that at that time yet, but like, you know, like a whole like level like tilting like this, like,
Is too much?
well, I mean, you just didn't really see a lot of that kind of stuff like on Super Nintendo. I mean, there was some stuff like that, but you know, this looked at the time like on a whole other level.
Well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
There was 5 pounds from Start Select again. Thank you. Saying cheeky question, but I'm out of the loop. What episodes are coming soon? Just recap what you've publicly announced. Well, like I said, barring, you know, natural disasters and unforeseen events, I do believe Analog Frontiers Part 3 will release tomorrow. Set aside an hour and 5 minutes for it. And beyond that, you know, I'm going to get right into Analog Frontiers Part 4 this next week. You know, no breaks for me. And I'm hoping to have that one out, you know, relatively quickly. I mean, you know, it'll still take a number of weeks, but
what in a perfect world, what I would like to happen is like I will follow the Analog Frontiers 3 with an episode that I'm just kind of doing a little bit on the side, but it's kind of just like a fun thing while I'm working on a Mr. episode as well.
You're kind of keeping the topic secret.
Yeah, just because I think it's going to be just kind of a fun surprise.
Right. It's going to interest a lot of people, I think. I mean,
yeah, it's just I just think it'll be fun for people to watch, and then I will have the Mr. episode after that, and then probably if Analog Frontiers 4 is not ready by that time, then I'm probably, I mean, somewhere in there I'll release another one of the marathon videos. I put together a Nintendo themed one, which I mean, there's people probably that have no real interest in those, but I've been very surprised, like watching the views on them continue to climb and be very steady. You know, as
it's not like I mean, they aren't huge views, but they're steady.
Oh yeah, well the thing is like they're like surpassing a lot like a lot of new episodes in the same amount of time. Like it started out really slow. Why can't I need a little bit more shake here. I can't do anything here. Left, right. Up, down, left, right. No. Oh, there we go. I guess when all else fails, shake, right? But you know, I will do. It's just been fun, interesting watching them do like decently well. I mean, Joe told me that he had a similar experience when he started doing the GameSack console crunch videos, which you know, he says if you look, here's like the view graph on it, and it starts out like below everything else, and then slowly it'll just like it'll continue like on a like an upward slope, and then it will like go above what view counts usually happen. It's just kind of interesting.
I mean, you know, originally I was kind of hoping that the Mr. episode would hit before Analog Frontiers Part 4.
Oh yeah, yes. I think it will before Part 4.
I feel like
it definitely will this before.
But I feel like there's enough Mr. stuff in Analog Frontiers Part 3 that I'm comfortable with it if it doesn't, but I would like that to happen if it's possible. For sure.
Yes.
I mean,
that's going to happen.
I have no clue how long Part 4 is going to take, but I don't think it's going to be that bad to edit comparatively.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see how it progresses, like as it's going.
There's a shot of this boss battle in, I forget if it was Part 1 or Part 2, that I thought looked...
How many worlds are there? Like, is it a pretty long game, or is it...
I feel like there's probably like, I don't know, 5 or 6 at most.
Oh. Ooh.
I feel like this is like the most iconic scene in the game. Maybe in part because it was also on that Star Fox tape, but like this boss is just like burned into my mind.
Oh, see,
I just think he looks really cool. Like the way he animates, like it's like a very classic treasure style boss with the arms and everything, but just with kind of I mean, you know, I don't know. I think he looks pretty cool, you know, even though it's like early CG render. You gotta grab his hand and make him punch himself.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty. It is definitely a cool looking boss battle. Why are you hitting yourself?
Oh, is Audie in here?
He might be.
Oh, there he is, yeah. Says, I just woke up and saw this stream is live. What Super Mario game is this?
This is the Japan-only Super Mario Brothers 9.
Oh.
I mean, I heard. Didn't you guys hear about that? Like in Japan, they're on like.
Yeah,
like Super Mario 25 or something at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
I mean,
Super
did you ever have anybody in? I mean, I don't know if that was like just for
I
the age that I
thing.
was, like, you know, like in Japan, you know, they're on this thing, but
yeah, I don't think I heard that specifically, but you know, everyone learned that with Final Fantasy. When Final Fantasy VII came out, and you know, we realized the numbers were all off.
Yeah.
I think everyone learned the secret that there are things that we didn't get.
Maybe I'm just timing this incorrectly.
I still haven't changed my clock in this room.
Oh, really?
So I'm like really.
I kind of got a
thrown
little
off.
bit nervous when you hadn't started the Discord call, and it was like 3 minutes before. I'm like, oh god, maybe he doesn't know, or we talked about it like yesterday or something. But I was like, maybe he forgot
Well,
to
I
change.
didn't know about it until like Tuesday this week.
Yeah, I didn't really either. I think I didn't know about it until like last weekend.
Man, I was so out of it today. Just like because like I didn't get to bed until later because I was watching the first render of Analog Frontiers Part 3. And you know, and it took me a while to fall asleep, and I ended up waking up earlier than I wanted. I've been tired, you know, and all the cumulative tiredness of finishing a big project. And like, you know, I brushed my teeth after my shower this morning, like always, and I went into the bathroom to wash my hands before lunch. And then, like, my phone rang.
Oh, I see. I can.
And, like, all of a sudden when my phone is ringing, I'm just like, why am I brushing my teeth? like this is how out of it I am at this point of finishing this. This is what analog editing a project the size of Analog Frontiers all on your own does to your brain. It was like I just like started brushing my teeth like completely subconsciously. Like I was just like I just like blacked out and started brushing my teeth instead of washing my.
Is that it? Yep.
Let's continue.
It's a really neat fight.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I've always thought this is one of the cool boss battles of maybe of all time. Middle of the game says, did you know this game was originally called Doki Doki Mischief Mario, but the music and graphics were so awful they changed it to a Marina game. Harumph. So.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing here. This is like there's so much going on. I can't. How am I supposed to even fight this? Was I not supposed to do this yet? Jeez.
Do what?
Like what am I? How do I even do this? Did I mess something up and do it in an improper order? Because I cannot. Holy cow! Like what's even going on here? Like he's shooting that stuff at me and I can't do anything.
Did you just start the fight again, or is that?
Yeah. Like I didn't even understand.
So you died?
Yeah, I just died again because there was 3 attacks happening at once, basically.
Huh. I don't know what happened.
Let's try it again. I don't know if how are we doing on the donations? I think I saw 3 of them pop up.
Just go. But you know, speaking of Doki Doki Mischief Mario, the Japanese of this game, Japanese name, I think, isn't it like Go Go Troublemakers or something? I know it's Troublemakers, not Mischief.
What is going?
I think there's something more to it than that, isn't it? Isn't it like Go? There's some. I thought there was something before. Oh, UK troublemakers. I don't. I guess is that go-go? Yeah, it looks like that's supposed to be go-go. Warnhoagie with $2. Any more news on the Analog Pocket? I mean, y'all know as much as we know. Sometimes more because I'm not always paying
scratching
attention.
my head. And like I lost a quarter of my health.
I guess it's just a really small window that you have to grab the hand now.
I guess so.
Jake A has $5 saying, kill the wizard. Which I guess you did.
I don't even understand.
Let's continue.
Like it seems like a quite a difficulty spike. Maybe I'll do what I was doing before. So, okay. All right.
So tired.
I was looking at the chat. All right.
Now I'll need you to double check that I have everything set up correctly on Analog Frontiers.
It should be. I mean, I'm assuming that it is, but I'll take a look.
Yeah, it's just I trust you a lot more than myself on the clerical background aspects of YouTube.
All right, here we go. Now he's getting real power. Come on. How many times do I gotta hit him?
Sean Quinn says, "I like my bosses to have damage meters." That's always something that I'm torn on. Like especially when it comes to like RPGs. Like I feel like that's a comparatively new thing for RPGs. Like especially like the Final Fantasy series didn't have life bars over enemies until.
Yeah.
11? They do have life bars in 11, don't they?
Try that.
I think so. It's been a little while. But certainly by 12 they did. And it's interesting. That's information that you didn't have previously in Final Fantasy games, unless you like scan. You didn't know how close you were to the end. And
yeah, and in RPGs though it's different because it's kind of nice. One thing you don't get very often in games is when you have like a sliver of health left, and your last party member does the final blow.
Oh yeah. That happened to me in Final Fantasy 4.
Yeah, I mean it's happened to me countless times I think in different games over the years.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I do like kind of the tension of not knowing, but it's also nice to know. So it's
Yeah.
it's interesting both ways for sure. I accept either way, whatever the game designer chose. I'm fine with. Changing colors acceptable, having them red and then flashing at the end of time. I mean, that's just classic Konami. I mean, that is the Konami.
But I certainly had my fair share of annoyances with that last week, like flashing colors and stuff. Like,
oh yeah, yeah. That was a bit of a slow color change. And there was no flashing to it, was there? It was just getting redder and redder and redder.
right.
Oh, speaking of which, that Turtles game looks pretty interesting.
Oh yeah. We didn't really talk about that. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It's so stupid.
I mean, you know, the animation style is not like a dead ringer for the,
Definitely not.
You know, the original cartoon. I mean, it's difficult to get that kind of animation anymore for sure. But I at least appreciate that it is going for that aesthetic, you know? So it's pretty neat because my goodness, I cannot stand what the current Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles. Like they look so terrible. Like just so terrible. I cannot deal. Like Raphael is like bigger than the other three turtles combined.
Well, he's like the brawler.
I know, but he's just like so stupidly big, and the others they just look weird. I mean, I've never seen an episode, so I have no idea what it's really like, but they just, I do not like how they look. Like, it's clearly me just being an old man, but they clearly understood that with this new game and wanted to appeal to the old men. You know,
It does look really cool. I mean,
can't deal with our Ninja Turtles not looking like we remember, you know? I agree. All four turtles should be the same size, you know?
This is ridiculous. That was stupid.
Let's continue.
You know, just juggling me while I was down. There's nothing I could do. All right. I alternate back
My
and forth.
Golden Game thought this game was too easy.
Well, I mean, I haven't really had much of a problem until this. I think.
Well, you were having some trouble on some.
That's right. Look out for that stupid.
You know, to be honest, I don't remember if my friend beat this boss when he ran the game back in the day because I don't remember seeing the next world until I owned the game myself. If I'm remembering right, the next world is kind of different. It's less levels and more like kind of like little competitions. I think that's the next one. It's like a little Winter Olympics sort of theme.
Come on. It's like that little pause. This is...
Let's continue.
Let's go.
I should have patched this boss. Patched the difficulty on this boss.
Audie says, Rise of TMNT has some good writing as an interesting take. I appreciate they tried something different after the excellent CGI series rather than just reboot again. Is Rise of TMT the one whose character designs I'm disparaging?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of good stuff like that is actually
that.
animated really well, despite, you know, kind of a minimalistic look to everything.
I mean, again, I've not seen it in action, but whenever I am unfortunate enough to like see the character designs in some capacity, I'm always just like, ugh. I would like to actually watch the whole 2002 or whenever it was, 2002, 2003 series, because I think I've told the story before how they were, that was the first reboot, and that was my first year in college, and I was like like that came out, and the Kirby cartoon came out, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to wake up again and start watching Saturday morning cartoons again. It's going to be great.
And then you didn't.
I didn't. I feel like I lasted maybe like 3 weeks.
That pause is just like messing me up.
Golden Cane says, when he makes a painful face, you know the pause is coming. Yeah, same. I need to see more of the Kirby cartoon as well. I liked what I saw. It's just that, waking up is not... I do not count among my skills.
I was holding up. I'm looking for that painful face. Thank you, Golden Cane. Now you got me.
Oh, that sort of like confused face?
Yeah.
At least they give you a lot of opportunities to get health crystals back.
Yeah.
Does Mischief Makers have a hard mode? I don't think so, but I mean, actually like collecting everything in every level is kind of hard mode. There's a lot of things in every level that if you want to do them, you have to like pull off much more high level play, but just to beat the game, you don't necessarily have to do that stuff.
Please be dead. Come on. How many times I gotta hit him?
I don't know. Those Mischief Makers about 40-ish now? I mean, that's not too bad in the grand scheme of things, I guess.
Yeah. This is pretty annoying. Pretty annoying, I gotta say.
There is I don't actually see it in the chat for some reason. Wait, is it replaying super chats from last week all of a sudden?
I had that problem earlier, but like on the actual stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had something like that happen like when I was like setting up.
And then Red Lobster Biscuits, and now Zoom Dust's response to the biscuit conversation appeared.
Or
But
people just really want us to talk about Red Lobster biscuits again. Red Lobster biscuits.
I had Texas Roadhouse pork chops for lunch to celebrate finishing Analog Frontiers Part 2.
I had barbecue on yesterday, I guess, from like a local place.
Pork chops aren't exactly barbecue. But
No, I didn't say barbecue. Did I say pork chops?
you said barbecue. I said pork chops.
Oh, yeah, but you went to Eli's barbecue, or not Eli's barbecue, but you Texas Roadhouse. I guess I think they're the same thing. They're not. I don't know why. I was.
I mean,
I was reading about Eli's barbecue on because I have like a free like $30 Uber Eats coupon that they keep on sending me. It's been funny because I've never used Uber Eats, but they keep on sending me like, here's $20 to spend on Uber Eats, and then I like have never used it, and then today it's just like, here's $30 to use on Uber Eats. Like they really want me to try out Uber Eats, I guess.
You know, I almost.
It's like get $30 if you spend. You get $30 if you spend $1. So, I finally.
DoorDash sent me a bunch of promotional coupons in the mail.
Yeah.
Like, throughout 2020.
Whoops. I just
And,
missed this cutscene because I hit the Z button.
Uh-oh.
Oh well. Something happened. I see Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder, I think, has been asking what happened to the fake stogie, and I got it, but I misplaced it and cannot find it.
What?
I put it someplace. I set it down like in the closet or something like that, and I cannot find it.
That's crazy.
I'll have to find it.
There was, in terms of actual super chats that happened, so he was playing the conversation about Shadow of the Colossus from last week.
Yeah, I have no idea why it's doing that.
There was a 499 from Gavin Langley saying, "What's up?"
Now it's starting the I wonder if that has anything to do with them in here. Hang on.
Oh, there's Vanessaria with $5 saying, "Awesome stream tonight. Great work as always."
That was the last stream from last week.
Stream sometime, which that one popped up just after we turned off the stream, so now I got to read it.
Yeah, but now we're going from the top here. I don't know why it's doing that. I apologize. I don't know why it's doing that. Uh-oh. So I guess there's like a little plot twist here, maybe. Like I rescued the master, and now we're getting a little like, hey, there's a lot more to the game, probably.
Oh yeah, now it's playing the ones from
Yeah,
early
it's starting
in
from the top.
game. Oh gosh, why is it doing this?
I don't know. I can turn off the ticker for a little. I mean, it's just gonna happen. It's gonna go all the way through. We can start from the top and talk about them all if you want. Yeah, it's because of the shake. It's lunar. We'll completely destroy them. I don't know. I was not paying attention to that at all. Yeah, maybe this is like a weird glitch.
Let's Streamlabs must be glitching.
Maybe.
Joe says it's been happening to a few others as well. So. I feel like I saw another super chat, but maybe not.
Did this come out before or after Bangayo?
Oh yeah, I forgot Bangayo. Isn't Bangayo like really late? It's got to be before. It's got to be before because this is like 97 or maybe 98.
I don't know.
I think it's 97.
Was Bangayo? I feel like Bangayo was before Sin and
Bangayo is
Punishment.
huh?
Bangayo was before Sin and Punishment, I think.
Was it?
People got their double their money's worth this week on Super Chats. This week on Super Chats, people get double their money.
Why does the professor look like he's wearing a Moogle costume?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, Mischief Makers is 97. Bangayo is 99. I totally forgot Bangayo was on N64.
Yeah.
And then
Clan Pot Shake.
and Sin and Punishment. Sin and Punishment is 2000.
Store an item, release it on top of the pot. Take an item out, stand on top of the pot. So did you see my stuff I posted in the Discord chat about this this Blu-ray that I have here?
No.
Oh, hang on, let me grab it. So about 2 years ago, I bought this Blu-ray at Goodwill for like $2. Maybe it was like 3 years ago. This is it's the Neon Genesis Evangelion 1.1, I think it is, or 1.11, 1.11. You Are Not Alone. It looks like it's never been watched.
Okay.
Anyways, I saw something out there because the new movie just came out in Japan. And it's like the end of it, I guess. And apparently, like, this is like out of print, and I looked it up, and it's like selling for like $200 on eBay.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, do I sell it? I mean, is that what I wish I should do? And some people are like, oh, you should check out the series, because I've only seen like maybe a couple of episodes of the TV show, and I don't even know if it's worth watching like the TV show or just going to this. But I mean, the show is on Netflix, so I was like, I'm just gonna like watch a couple of them, see if maybe I can go through it, I guess. Then I'll watch this, and then I'll sell it. But I mean, it looks like it's never been watched.
I mean, I checked out a little bit of it on Netflix just out of curiosity. I mean, it's interesting for sure. It's I don't know if it's. I've heard it said that it's not a beginner's anime.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot going on, and I guess it's very confusing towards the end, and very abstract.
It's definitely very confusing. But I assume the reason that's probably so popular is because I heard that Netflix redid all the voice acting.
Oh, maybe.
So that's probably like the last one with like the original voices or whatever.
I don't know if it would have any interest at all to you, but it's made by the person who went on to do Shin Godzilla.
Oh, right. Yeah, I had heard that.
thought I was gonna be doing this. Okay, so 1.11 is 1.11 is a retelling of the first 6 episodes. Well, I mean, I watched like 2 episodes last night, so I feel like if I just like watch 2 episodes a night, you know, I can finish in a few weeks. Grab the clamp by holding down. You can check its contents. As they're marked with the numbers, you press L or R. You can change their order. I don't even understand. Like, okay.
Sandy, do you need to go poop? Your schedule of doing stuff has been off today. Even not considering the time change. You need to go poop.
Am I doing things wrong here? If I press down and I'm pressing L or R, it's not doing anything. I must be doing something wrong. But I mean, if it's just a retelling, oh, look at, I guess I should probably remove that if I'm going to sell it. Okay, so it looks like I paid $3 for it. So I wonder if I should probably, it's going to bring down the resale value, I guess. So $3, I mean, if I can turn it around and, yeah, sounds like a good deal, but that probably would ruin the resale value of it. Okay, store an item, release it on top of the pot. Okay. Okay. What is that? Oh, okay, that's what I need right there.
I got some boxes from Japan this week. I thought maybe I should open them.
What are they?
I got some things I ordered on eBay from Japan. What?
I don't like. I'm seeing what's going on with Sean Quinn's tweets here. $3.99. Trump won't be as bad as everyone thinks. $3.99. Grape nuts will be in plentiful supplies.
I think he's making jokes about the old Streamlabs.
Oh, I see.
He's making jokes about the old Streamlabs popping up.
I see. Okay.
So now it's going way back.
Oh, okay. I see what's going on now.
So I ordered. Hey, Sadie, you coming to see what I got?
I need that explosive thing.
I was waiting a long time for this to show up.
Oh, season 8 was supposed to be good. I see. He had something about Game of Thrones season 8 will be the best one yet. Man, you know, I think back on that a lot. And the first 2 episodes of season 8 are really good. Like, especially episode 2 was really good at the time.
I got Gun Knack and Mother 3.
And what? Oh, and Mother 3.
Mother 3.
How about that?
Yeah, it's hard to find like an actual copy of Mother 3 on eBay.
Oh,
like,
you better open that up, make sure it's legit.
Well, I will, but I was pretty confident from the listing, so the listing seemed reliable. Yeah, I'll investigate it for sure. I'm kind of tempted to stream Gun Knack next time because I'm not a big shmup guy. But
this is like so confusing to me.
I was playing. I was just randomly playing it, recording footage for Analog Frontiers Part 3, and I was just like, man, this is really fun. Like, I didn't want to stop playing it. It was just, I don't know, just something about it was just more fun to me.
Okay. I see. And then it still didn't. I wish it wasn't annoying. Like, I get what they're trying to do. I just feel like it's really overcomplicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
now that it's like full, how do I get more stuff here?
Speaking of treasure, I also got 2 games that are much cheaper to get Japanese versions of.
I have the Japanese version of Guardian Heroes.
Guardian Heroes and Panzer Dragoon Saga, which was like $50 or less. That's a clean looking disc.
This is.
But I mean, almost anything you buy out of Japan is nice.
Okay, I gotta combine 4 mini explosives to make a bomb. Does it even tell me that?
Well, look, there's like a little, there's like on these center ones where the discs 2 and 3 are. There's like a little, it's like a little cloth pad. I don't know if it came that way originally, or if the shipper put that in. It even has the obi strip, which I am not one to care about obi strips, but it's there. My desire is to understand Japanese well enough to actually play the disc of this without having to just do it through an ODE.
Man,
did you know that the Japanese title is Azel Panzer Dragoon RPG?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
I did not.
What makes you think that I would not know that? Why wouldn't I know that?
Because I didn't. But you're the Sega guy.
Okay, I guess.
Oh, we got $10 from Mega X6. Thank you, saying I bought and am now about to play Star Fox Adventures for the first time because of the Dinosaur Planet stream, and I guess he's saying I am playing Star Fox Adventures for the first time because of Dinosaur Planet stream, and I am loving it as always. Thanks for all you two do. Well, thank you, and you should definitely, everyone should definitely go check out the DF Retro on Dinosaur Planet and Star Fox Adventures that John just did because it's very cool, and it's actually got an interview with Kevin Bayliss, who, you know, I saw him actually write like an article after the leak happened that had some of this information in it, but like John had been sitting on some of this information about like Timber the Tiger from Diddy Kong Racing, like was supposed to be the original main character. And like he was saying on all this information from this interview he did at Platonic Games from several years ago.
That's cool. I'll have to watch it.
Chris Ramsey saying, thanks for the heads up on Evo 1.11. I've had my copy sitting around for a year. Might try to make some money off of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's so interesting how different we are on physical media for movies and stuff as opposed to...
well, I mean... Oh, just like in general. Yeah, I mean, for me especially, it's just like...
games.
Yeah, I mean...
It's different for me, you know? It's...
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I only have so much room.
I'm not as passionate about, like, owning specific versions of specific movies. I'm not as worried about not getting access to a specific version of a movie. I mean...
Yeah.
It's just because, I mean, in the same way that a lot of people would just be like, oh, well, you know, I can't, I don't care if I can't play the original version of, I mean, what would be a good example? You know, I should be able to think of an example, but you know.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I can understand wanting it, you know, like especially if, you know, your internet goes down. Sure. I mean, I have some stuff here.
It's just that I'm not like, you know, it would deeply bother me to not have access to some versions of some games and to have control over my access to it.
Yeah.
But for movies, it's just like, oh, well, if I can't watch this movie, then, you know, I'm not bothered to find some other way to watch if I really have to, or just forget about it, you know?
Yeah.
So then I've got one more package wrapped up in, looks like some sort of Japanese home buying flyers.
Oh yeah.
I always like it when when like they use for packaging like newspapers or stuff. Sometimes there's interesting stuff, or it looks interesting. Can't read it all that much, but I like it. It's interesting. This is kind of a really weird game that I think almost no one knows about. We did. Oh, I remember this level. I thought this was much later in the game.
Well, maybe I'm pretty far into the game.
Maybe you are. I think it's like 5 worlds, but I don't know. Maybe there's only 4. I honestly can't remember. We discovered this, you know, back when Drum and Lin thought, you know, there was still a chance they would be able to go on their honeymoon to Japan. You know, and then it became apparent they would not be able to. You know, we did sort of a consolation stream. It was before then. It was right as they were deciding that maybe they couldn't go. But they thought they still might be able to go, so they had like tested a bunch of random Japanese games on emulators to see what they might want to pick up while they were there, and then they picked some for me to try on the stream.
Okay.
Some that they thought were interesting.
Yeah.
And this is, it's not super cheap. It was like $30-ish.
What was I supposed to do there?
This is Dharma Dojo.
Oh.
And it's kind of this weird, it's kind of a very different sort of puzzle game. You play as these like monks. It was kind of fun though. And the last thing I have here is PC Engine Adventure Island.
Oh.
Which, you know, John was telling me that's his favorite one.
Oh, interesting.
I have heard good things about that one. So yeah, I went on a little Japanese eBay spree because I spent like almost no money that I didn't have to spend in January and February, and I was very proud of myself. So I'm like, well, now I need to import some video games. There was a $5 super chat from Warren Hokie. Thank you.
Thank you.
With all the
Come
Bethesda
on.
games add to Game Pass, does Morrowind still hold up in 2021? Oof. That's an interesting question. You know, for sure, I don't know if the Xbox version of Morrowind holds up in 2021. You know, I have tried it on Xbox. I played a version. I forget what people called it. There was like this. I played on PC like maybe like 8 years ago. Using some, I forget what they called it, but there was like kind of like this curated pack of mods that like did a lot of bug fixes and also did a lot of you know, graphical tweaks that my understanding is that they were tweaks that were in the spirit of, you know, the original intent of the graphics, you know, not changing the artistic vision of it over much. You know, so it was supposed to be.
I assume I can keep on going in the
some,
level, and there's like another exit or something like that.
Some quality of life tweaks and stuff like that. But anyway, it's you know, it was interesting going through it. I mean, I definitely feel like it would have been cooler to play at the time that it was, you know, new. It's definitely hard to go back to. I mean, you know, people complain about the combat in Oblivion and Skyrim. I'm totally fine with the combat in those games. The combat in Morrowind is very awkward. I don't think it works very well at all. But it is definitely an interesting game for sure. The, you know, kind of the overall weirdness of it is definitely interesting. You know, although, you know, I think like the Shivering Isles expansion of Oblivion is like, you know, way cooler. And just in terms of like a sort of a stranger world. You know, actually though, speaking of all the Bethesda stuff just getting added. You know, in addition to that, there are also several Bethesda games getting the frame rate boost, where the frame rate is being effectively doubled on Xbox One X and Series Series X and Series S, including Fallout 4, which I still haven't played, and Prey, which I know John loves that game, and I actually do have.
I
have
have
the
it too.
Xbox version of that.
I do. I think I got it on Target clearance for $4.99.
Yeah, I got it for pretty cheap too. I can't remember if you picked it up or I think I picked it up. But it was really cheap.
This is.
I think it was like $5 on clearance on Best Buy online or something like that. And yeah, so I have that. So that's exciting. That's going to be 60 FPS now. And I got it just because to have a physical copy of a 60 frames version of
What am I doing?
Skyrim, even though technically it's patched all to heck, so it's not, I guess, really on disc, but you know how I am. I like to have my console versions. I like to have my disc on shelves. I got a used copy on eBay of Skyrim on Xbox One because that's going to be 4K 60 now.
Oh, really?
Yep. So I got it just because.
I have to say that I'm not sure how likely I am to continue playing this after the stream. It's just not. Why did she just turn around in the middle of the air?
Understandable, for sure.
I mean, she just like changed directions randomly in the middle of my jump.
I guess Rears the Blood did the same thing. Yeah, I think that's about what I paid. It might have been 13. I think it was like 13 with free shipping or something like that. I do wonder if that like turnaround could have been a controller thing, or if you actually did that.
I don't know. It very well could be this D-pad.
I mean, you always talk about how you have this habit of hitting the opposite direction.
But I am going out of my way to make sure that I don't do stuff like this because it's like here it just make her dash. That was $2 from Jonathan Hinson. Thank you. It says, is Dragon Quest XI on Switch a good port of the game? And I think so. I mean, that's how I play it.
Yeah. It absolutely is. I mean, it's very smartly optimized. And I always like seeing that kind of stuff on.
And it's not like Dragon Quest doesn't need to be like a really good looking game.
No, I mean, it is a pretty good looking game on PS4 for sure, I think. But it does look good on Switch. I mean, it runs pretty well and it looks pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a well done port of the game. I'm really disappointed with the version that they put on of the definitive edition that they put on Xbox and PS4 because they don't have the geometry is pared back just like the Switch version. The like the grass there's not as much grass, and a lot of the areas that they culled for the Switch version remain because supposedly the new content was made for Switch, and it made it difficult to recreate that on the original version of the game. which just seems so stupid to me. Like, why didn't they consider that? uh, it, I love the Switch version. I think it's very impressive for its platform.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm really annoyed by technically better than Switch versions on Xbox One and PS4 because they should have been better. They should have had. They should not be a visual downgrade from the original PS4 version. They are 60 frames per second though on at least on Xbox One. I downloaded the demo on Xbox One. It's 60 frames on X at least. PS4, I'm not sure. Probably, but it's annoying that visually the world does not look as good as it originally did.
The vanilla version.
On the same system. So even though the frame rate's higher, like who needs frame rate in Dragon Quest? Like I'd rather.
Well, exactly. Exactly,
So,
and just in terms of what I prefer, I like playing my Dragon Quest games portable because I find like grinding levels and stuff to be very fun in them.
Mhm.
I mean, just not even fun. It's just like it's easy to do other things while you do it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a very good version of the game. It's just that when that same version is brought to a system that already had a more visually complex version of the game, it's disappointing to see that. But taking on its own merits on Switch, it's an excellent version. That was one of the reasons that I got Ukulele on the Switch, because I liked the idea that Playtonic put in a lot of work in making the Switch version really optimized for the platform, even though technically it could have looked better, ran better on another system. I felt it was a well done Switch port, and that kind of stuff, just whenever something is done well for the platform that it's on, I just really appreciate that, even if it's technically lesser than another version. And so on Switch, great. On PS4, and personally, if I would have a hard time seeing myself replaying the game on PS4 without playing the original version.
Yeah.
I could see myself replaying it, but I'd rather it look like the original. If I'm going to play it on Switch, fine, it looks good on Switch. But I don't need 60 frames per second with less geometry on PS4 or PS5. It just, it doesn't make sense. There was $5 from Craig Wan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, Mischief, my dudes. Gotta say, you guys have more patience than I do with games like this, especially you, Coury. My rage would already be visible.
Oh,
Coury's been frustrated more than usual these past 2 weeks.
Yeah. Usually I'm pretty laid back, but I don't know. There's just something about.
I mean, you were pretty easygoing in Mummy Demastered, except for some of the later boss fights.
Yeah.
That was your breaking point.
Yeah. And I mean, I will admit that I was probably pretty close to the end. I just did not have time. I have not continued it. I'm to be fair, I have not played any games at all this past week. I've had other stuff, been doing other stuff.
There was also $5 from Container 7, and thank you, but no message, but thank you. It was much appreciated.
I see that guy throwing bombs around. I see you throwing those bombs. Why don't you throw one of those bombs over here? Let me see them bombs. There you go. There we go. I do appreciate the rather large screen filling explosions every once in a while.
Well, at least you've got a save file in this game that you can, you know, capture footage from it in the future without
Exactly.
going to up.
Yes.
You know, it's always nice.
I'm doing pretty good here. No. I mean, if there's 4 worlds, can anybody tell me how many worlds there are?
I forget what. I feel like it's 4 or 5. Let me look it up.
I mean, screen filling explosions is a treasure staple.
Oh, of course. Let's see.
That's how I tame my dog. I grab them by the head and just like smash their head down on the ground. That's how I tamed Booty.
World 2. You're on World 3, Mount Snow. World 4, Astor's Lair.
Boom. Kablam.
5, Imperial Headquarters. So there are 5 worlds.
Okay. Not so bad.
You're like halfway through the game. I mean, that's not that bad.
Well, maybe I'll return to it. I was like continue or I'm done.
Huh?
The options are continue and I'm done. Ooh. How do I do this? You can ride a bicycle. That's not how you do it. Oh, you can get these little guys.
End Explosion was the best. You know, I booted that up on an emulator. You know, this is going to make you feel real old, Sean. I booted that up on emulator, and I was going to record footage of it, and I did not record footage of it because
You couldn't figure it out.
I was unsure if that, like, shield or whatever the heck it is in the middle of the screen, like, was supposed to look that way or not. It looks
Yar's
really
Revenge is like
weird.
one of those games that I mean, we had it, but I don't remember how to even play it every time. Like, I think
that is definitely a challenge when booting up Atari games to record. I have to confess, there are not many Atari games in Analog Frontiers Part 3. But I have to admit to you know, when I boot up an Atari game, I often am just like, I have no idea how to play this. Sandy, what's wrong? Do you need to poop? You didn't poop when we went out before. You had no interest. You've been weird about your bathroom time. You've not been doing things when you're supposed to. Can you be quiet if you do a good poop? Can we go do that?
I mean, judging from what I've seen, there's a lot of passion for this. What did I just get? I just got some item. There's definitely a lot of passion for this game, though, in the chat.
I mean, you know, I think it's a game that it's a little easier to get into, I think, when you're younger. You know, you're
Yeah,
more
but I mean,
willing
usually
to,
I'm
to,
pretty.
tur-
I
to
do
put
like
the time in
it.
to learn its idiosyncrasies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, my save file says like 16 or 17 on it.
So when you were that old, I was like 35, basically. All right. So I wonder if I've screwed myself here. It's like you need to reset the level of the star again. Okay. Is that my total time? Yeah, 2 hours 20.
Did you say that when you were that age?
No, I was kidding
you
around.
were 5, because that is definitely not the case.
I know. I was kidding.
Sandy did not poop. She just peed, for those who were curious.
For those keeping track at home.
Mm-hmm. It's okay, Sandy. I can't even keep track of what time it is right now anymore either.
Okay, the star and the level restarts. Okay.
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, do we really know that much about what happened to Treasure? I mean, I know that they did like some game that was supposed to be like a multimedia project of some kind, and it didn't do very well. And then that was like it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was though.
I mean, I don't know if there's like really a lot of official information out there, but it's like it's obvious that they seem to not have any development staff anymore. I mean, I think they just I think they technically still exist as a company, but probably just to hold their properties.
Yes.
But it's a
Like they
shame.
didn't do the Switch port of Ikaruga in house.
Oh, they did or didn't?
Did not.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked if they did. The director of Ikaruga works at M2.
Yeah.
He was too shy to talk to us.
I know.
There was $2 from old JPEG, John Perry G, saying hi guys. Hi JPEG.
Hello. Let's wait for him to come through here. Yeah, this is on Ultra HDMI.
Are you looking at on RGB though?
Yes, I'm playing on PVM.
What's going on with my webcam? It is a little blurrier than usual looking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's out of focus.
It must be because I was up at it earlier. Maybe. It just never
Okay.
got refocused or whatever. It also just looks like the bit rate might be a bit low.
Okay, I'll leave it. Do I keep the yellow star though?
Sandy, you need to be less of a fussy butt right now, okay?
Okay. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
I'll play with you when the stream is over, okay? Don't expect too much though, because I'm pretty tired. Pretty tired.
Bouncy guy in bouncy house, bike in bike house. Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, I see.
You're solving a puzzle.
Yeah.
See, everything is just like, everything's different in this game, you know?
Here we go.
Oh,
It
looks
made
like
a
my
noise.
camera- It looks like my camera got focused on OBS.
Okay, it
But
says.
it
I like how
might
it just
just
says
be-
for the yellow thing, yellow diamond. It says got it. Make some bombs.
Yeah. Did you fix the focus, Sandy?
Did she? How did she do that?
Focus.
How did she do that?
Where does Sandy sleep at night? She sleeps in the laundry room. I have a baby gate on the laundry room, and she sleeps in there. Not that I think that she's like gonna do anything. Like she had a bout of diarrhea maybe like a month ago, and you know she didn't do a thing in the house, but she let me know that she was really desperate to go out, and she had every reason to justify messing up.
Oh, he's gonna send me all the way back.
Didn't do it. Like, she is really well house trained, and she doesn't often get into things that she shouldn't.
Oh,
Other than,
I do.
she likes seeing certain little things that might have fallen on the floor, but for the most part, she very well behaved. And but at the same time, like I kind of feel like having a bedtime routine, so to speak, like you would with a kid, is good, because that lets her know that done for the day. And I was kind of nervous that she might get kind of fussy outside my door early in the morning or something like that, and I do not like waking up early in the morning at all. And she I was just worried that she would think that like laying in front of my door or whining or something would get me to get up sooner. So I just stuck with it. As a puppy, obviously I didn't want to roam the house free as the puppy, and just ended up kind of sticking with it, even as she's older, just to have that bedtime routine, because she's very quiet at night. She doesn't say anything at night. She's occasionally woken me up if like on the off chance that like FedEx delivers a package at like 7 or 8 in the morning or something, which is unusual, but it can happen. She usually,
I feel like weirdly bad for like a lot of these the enemies in this game. I don't know why. I feel weirdly bad for some of the enemies in this game. Like I'm putting them all in this bag here. I'm probably gonna shake it and make something big out of it, I bet. Like he's like running because he's sweating over it. Is he gonna make something? I thought for sure it'd be making like a big one.
well, some of them have Santa hats and some of them have flowers. Now I see some are blue and some are white. So I don't know if you're supposed to use a specific one or something.
Yeah. I guess we're gonna find out, right? Am I gonna take them all out now? Taking him back to his home. Maybe. I like when I pick one of them up and I set him back down and he goes right back in.
I guess you're just supposed to take them home, maybe. Well, there's, I believe, 5 Australian from Chris Carey.
Oh, thank you.
Must be an easy watch time for you. First thing in the morning there.
First thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning. Any soldering advice for someone doing the Ultra HDMI for N64? Practical advice for how to get better at soldering to that level. That's really a question for Coury. I don't think you. I mean,
I wouldn't take on the Ultra HDMI.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like you have been learning, but like Ultra HDMI, like I am under the impression that if you are just beginning, you should not expect to be ready for Ultra HDMI anytime too soon.
It's boss time.
Because
the Great Lunar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ultra HDMI, I believe, is considered a fairly difficult one. I don't know, I don't know if you already have your Ultra HDMI board. I mean, obviously, there is also the N64 digital coming, and I have no idea, like, if there's any possibility it could be an easier install, a more difficult install. I have no clue. But I would imagine that they probably have to ultimately tap into the video in a similar way. I don't know much about that yet, but I don't think installing the more advanced N64 kits is really considered a beginner project.
Yeah, I would.
Wow, Chris Carey says it's 2 p.m. having a late lunch. 2 p.m. Really? I thought Australia was closer to like a 12-hour difference.
Tell me where you took the prof.
Oh.
So this was before they started doing any sequels. For the longest time, Treasure was like no sequels to any of our games ever. I think that the first sequel,
like an actual policy that they spoke of.
Yeah, and I think that they didn't do a sequel until Gunstar Superheroes. I think that was their first sequel. I got a very good.
You've already got 2 boards. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can find someone in Australia who's experienced at installing them. I mean, I'm sure you'd like to save money by doing it yourself, but I'm under the impression you would need a good bit of experience under your belt. Yeah, well, daylight savings just started today. You're on the east coast of Tasmania, huh? That's cool. You probably don't think that's very cool because you see it every day. But that's like, oh, that sounds kind of exotic to me.
These guys, they're crying. Don't cry, kids. There's no bathroom or doors. That's horrible. I want a refund.
I'm not positive, but I think this might be the only the only game Enix published on the N64. At least in the US, I think.
Because when was the merger?
Like 2003, I want to say.
Gosh, it doesn't. I guess 97. It makes me always think about. Remember Square Electronic Arts? Like what a weird.
yeah.
What a weird thing.
Yeah.
Square EA.
Yeah.
Such a weird thing. And I mean, a lot of those reprints, the games they still print now, you know, with the silver backs. I wonder if they all say Square EA in them still.
You know, I feel like I've seen some version that hasn't changed, but I can't remember for sure.
You have one, right? Don't you have one of the silverback ones?
I don't, because they're all greatest hits, aren't they?
Yeah, that's true. Yes, they are.
I kind of want one though to just put
well,
in
yeah, but you can't.
to just put in a
You've gone this
drawer.
long without getting a greatest hits
know, but
PS1
I mean-
game. Like, why screw it up now?
Well, I mean, I have. I mean, I you know, it was only a few years ago that it wasn't that many years ago that I got Black Label Final Fantasy VII. I mean, I had that one, and I also at one point had a green label Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, there's like a
But I don't have
story
any Final
level.
Fantasy Tactics right now. But I did have a green label one. I got rid of it, and I still own though that greatest hits Final Fantasy VII, but it's in a drawer. It's not on my shelf because like I you know, for the longest time I thought like Black Label Final Fantasy VII was expensive or something, and it really wasn't. I was like, oh, well, here's a good condition one. I want it, and now I don't have to have any green label because like it was you know, it was like the second PS1 game I bought, and I thought it, you know, I guess it didn't bother me much at the time, but then over time I just like didn't get any more green label games. I'm just like, well, it looks so bad having this one green label on my shelf. So when I saw I could get a Black Label Final Fantasy VII, I got that, put that in a drawer. I mean, I just couldn't get rid of it because, you know, it was my teenage copy.
Oh. All right, we're gonna see.
So there's some nostalgia for it, but you know, or some attachment, I suppose.
What's that? So I think that you boost a lot faster or more consistently if you're double tapping instead of just like hitting the C button. I don't know exactly how that works, but it seems to be the case. I'll do it with the other hand, see if I can do it. Just like that. There you go. I got the world record.
The world record. Ooh, it was actually
Yahoo.
looking pretty tight on my screen here.
Oh, the first one I had some problems with.
Oh, now you got way ahead.
Yeah.
You
When I switched hands.
you only just now got to the goal.
Yeah.
So, like, we should check if we somehow got it off of the normal streaming latency, because it's a bit much. Wait. Oh, you know what? What I played a little bit of
What's that?
like 2 days ago. One of two or 3 days ago. One of the last game clips that I recorded for
Oh, that's right.
Analog Frontiers Part 3 I was, I was just thinking, what should I put in this part? And then I just thought of like what the perfect thing would be. I played GoldenEye Xbox Live Arcade through the Xenia emulator. And I was rather surprised how well it ran on my computer. I mean, it wasn't locked 60 or nothing, but it was it was pretty decently smooth for my purposes. I mean, it was I was unsure if it was really going right because my editing computer is a Threadripper, and
what am I doing here?
When I tried to run Citra on it, people were like, well, duh, you shouldn't be emulating on AMD.
Oh, I see.
And it's like, well, I didn't buy the CPU to emulate.
What am I doing? I accidentally skipped the tutorial.
But I mean, emulation is more like single core usually. But that I was surprised. I thought something that recent wouldn't run that well. Of course, if I tried to play a game that took more full advantage of the Xbox 360 hardware, something that was actually like Gears 3 or something like that, I don't know. Like maybe that wouldn't have run so well, but GoldenEye played pretty well. I was surprised because I didn't know anything about Xbox 360 emulation until that came around.
Oh, I don't want to catch bombs, right?
You totally can emulate on AMD. It's just that, there were some elitists just acting like I was stupid for even trying. But Threadripper, I mean, is much more focused on, many cores than single core performance. It's pretty good for editing video. But I mean, I can emulate other things just fine. Citra just didn't run very well on the computer at that time anyway. But I do think there is also a tendency for a lot of people to claim that an emulator is running better than it really is.
Okay, how did I do? Jeez.
What are you supposed to catch?
I guess I'm not supposed to catch any bombs. Oh, I got smoke monsters in the chat.
Ooh.
I'm gonna start at the same time. The first one in the goal.
People tune in for Analog Frontiers Part 2 tomorrow.
Part 3.
Part 3.
You might see.
You might see Smoke Monster.
Whoops. Okay, I only needed the white balls, so it's too late now.
See, my memory was these events took up this whole world, but I guess it's only the latter part of the world.
Oh, come on. I'm not having any luck with stuff with this game. I just feel like every time I try to do something.
In spite of that, you've gotten quite far into it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Math fun. I can't wait.
Any emulator fans that, in spite of our infrequent emulation related content, I hopefully they will like Analog Frontiers Part 3. I very much...
What do I do here?
Kind of one of my intentions from the very beginning.
Come on, this happened with Incredible Crisis. Like, I just hate showing sometimes, like, my math skill. It's like...
Oh, no.
Oh, come on, no. Come on. Not 61.
I am not very good at math.
This is like... It takes...
But a big part of my intention with Analog Frontiers Part 3, and really the whole series, but especially Part 3, is from the beginning been, I want people to walk away with a less...
Thank goodness.
With a less tribal view of...
Let's continue.
Let's do it again, I guess, huh?
Original hardware purists, emulation fans, FPGA fans, like it's meant to be very even-handed about all of it and celebrate the accomplishments of all of those pieces. And they're all important and all have validity. But let's also not be unrealistic about the shortcomings and things that are left undone as well. So, that's very much a what it's about. So.
Yeah, CG in the chat saying, just dropping by to say you guys make some of the best content on YouTube and some of one of the few channels I always watch regardless of topic, because I know it'll be great. Thank you.
Well, we try. Certainly, this past week or so, I tried too hard.
It's going to be worth it. I think that people are going to be very,
really
very surprised.
Yep. Analog Frontiers Part 3. Watch it tomorrow, unless like I say, unless there's unforeseen circumstances. If I have to change anything, it'll probably be Wednesday, but I don't think I'm going.
I don't think you're going to have to.
Feeling optimistic.
I think that the thing that people are going to be most surprised of in it is like this segment right after the intro.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a pleasant surprise and something that is like it's going to be a surprise to people and just like, like the person deserves all the recognition that they're going to get because of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was something that wasn't even going to be part of Analog Frontiers originally.
Right.
But then I kind of thought, I think, because I was kind of thinking of the Tom Du Bois documentary, and I was thinking about how much love there was for it, but not that many views.
Right. At least at the time, yeah.
And I kind of thought, this other person, we shot that with the idea that it would be a standalone mini documentary. But when I started working on the preservation topic, I was like, they would fit in really well with this. And and it's not that they don't deserve their own documentary, because they absolutely do.
Yes.
But
I think it strengthens like this overall.
Well, my thought was their story is elevated by being part of something larger.
Yes.
I felt like more people would see it. more people would see it being part of something larger than if it was a standalone thing. And that was when I was like, well, I think it's the right decision to put this in Analog Frontiers. So some people probably know what it is because I mean we've talked about it before, but it's still fun to be coy about it, I guess. There are 3 people.
That's not what I meant to do.
There are 3 people in part 3 that have not previously appeared in another Analog Frontiers episode. And there are 2 people in part 3 that were in part 1, but not part 2.
I guess that didn't really work.
Back in part 3. Shotgun says it'll be great after hearing this that ends up being Try himself.
That'd be funny,
That
right?
would be embarrassing. That would be embarrassing.
Okay, so I know how to do this. Only the white balls. And grab all the balls flying through the air. There we go.
Ah, Tony Galvin's spoiling it. He says, it's me, guys. I'm in the next episode of Analog Frontiers.
Why is there not more white balls being thrown here? Shoot. Alright. Sorry, I'm just concentrating. I don't even... What's going on? Come on! There's a lot of annoying parts in this. Finally. Catching all these white balls. Let's try. No flying, please.
I'm so thrown off on the time because I keep looking at
Oh,
my
that's
main
11:30.
clock in this room, which I still haven't changed.
Well, after I finish this level, we're gonna call it a night. It's 11:30. Oh, shoot. No flying.
$2 from John Ferry G. Soaking in the good conversation and the music is hype. I cannot hear the music. I don't remember the music in this level, but I'll take your word for it that it is hype inducing.
Am I flying? Is that the count? Not count? I don't know.
Yeah, what qualifies?
Yeah,
as
what
flying?
qualifies as flying? It seems like. Let's try the last boss of the world. Okay, I mean, we'll see how that goes.
This game would look kind of neat on a 3DS, I think.
Yeah, I could see that.
Still play my N64 with RCA cables on CRT mostly. Have the Rad 2X Mini and don't like how the games look through it all.
Ah,
You're buying a Rad 4X. Oh, I wasn't
like
aware
if
of
you
Rad
have to go
4X.
backwards, you can't. You're screwed.
Yeah, I mean, N64 with RCA on a consumer CRT is That's as good as composite gets, really. It's not a bad experience. You know, in my background on the games we played in 2020 video, most of those shots are RCA on the CRTs in the background, just because it was easier to get the way I had things set up.
No. Like if you grab the wrong one, you're screwed. Like you cannot go back in time before the other person gets it.
When you're at a good stopping place, I think I think that the next super chat is
From Josh Almagay.
Is some sort of reference that I do not know, and you're probably supposed to read in a specific way.
I guess it was like a throwback to the SNL skit, the sweaty cheese balls. Got some cheese balls, some sweaty cheese balls. I guess I just remember the whole skit, but I don't remember how he said it.
Take that, DK Junior math.
Now we gotta fight Lunar again.
Lunar the Silver Star.
And Cat Clancer's on the right. Fight fair, and if you can avoid being hit by the ball. So it's time to start. Or is it like dodgeball? It is like dodgeball.
Not like, is it like Cuneo dodgeball?
Maybe. Jeez, that was kind of fun. So maybe I gotta do the same thing here. All right. Oh, I missed the gold. Oh well. Here we go.
You're still fighting the cat on my screen.
Whoa. This is kind of cool. Whoa!
What? Zoom dust?
Zoom dust.
Again? Forced your hand. What, how did we force your hand? Thank you. How did we
Whoa.
force your hand?
Dang, thank you.
Oh yeah, I remember this boss fight. It has like the cool zoomy background.
Yeah.
We made the content just too good. Well, hopefully you'll still agree with that after seeing Analog Frontiers Part 3 tomorrow. I think it's pretty good. I'm definitely proud of it. I'm tired.
I mean, do you feel like it's the best thing you've ever done? Honestly?
I mean, I'm really proud of Analog Frontiers Part 1 for its like accessibility, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of hard to compare them, I suppose. It's certainly the most complicated thing I've ever read. You know, I mean, it's hard to say. It's, you know, and I know Artemio keeps insisting he does not deserve the praise, but he absolutely does. You know, Artemio helped so much with me understanding so many of the considerations and things like that that surround preservation. And that was before we even thought it was going to be possible to get him into the series. You know, I wrote most of this before we even interviewed him. And then when we had the opportunity to do so, I was just like, well...
Oh, look at this. I bet you this is an inspiration for Freedom Planet right here. You know that? You know? There's one boss that's like a giant running thing. Like this.
Oh. I think there's another fight like this later in the game, too. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe this is what I was thinking of. Yeah, I bet so.
I don't know if I'm hurting him or not.
John Quinn says, I want to see a deep fake version of Analog Frontiers where tries every person in each episode. People were going crazy with that, like, singing one this week.
Yeah, that was fun. I had to show my kids because they thought it was really funny. Oh, here we go.
John sent me one of me singing something. I saw someone in our Discord make one of Bob and one of you. I think Bob was doing the Rickroll or something, I think.
I don't remember what he was doing.
And I saw John did one with Turok 2, with Turok's face.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. He tweeted it, I think. So someone in our Discord, I think it might have been Henry Clark actually, or it was someone, posted one in the Discord of this like horrific.
Did I beat him? Did I beat him? It's looking like it.
You did better on him than you did on
Yeah.
the mutant guys. Uh-oh, it's displaying old super chats again. We got Gavin Langley's "What's up?" appearing again.
No. The Empire's plan has been destroyed by Marina's heroics. The piece is brief. A new battle is stirring.
He says Treasure brought their boss A game to this. I agree. I think the bosses in this game are pretty neat.
The Beast Ector. The Beast Ector. Stay tuned. Same N64 time. Same N64 channel. That's fun.
So that's probably what you missed on
Yeah.
the last. Oh yeah, I remember that they just got these like episode conclusion things.
We have not streamed Link to the Past. We were thinking about it.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that. It'd be a nice, comfy game to stream sometime. How many times have you beaten that game? Just once?
I think I've beaten it like 3 or 4 times.
I've beaten it quite a few times, but
I mean,
I can't get through it as quickly as I used to. You know what's something that I haven't played in a long time, but I played so many times.
what's that?
As a kid or a teenager, I guess, was Mario RPG. Like
Really?
I've kind of wanted to like sometimes just stream that and just see how far I can get in one stream.
That'd be fun.
I really have no idea how far I would get in one stream.
I should have shook the laser. When we see the next world, I'm gonna cut it off.
I mean, for a game you definitely struggled to learn to play, you made good progress in one stream.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I might. Maybe I'll continue it sometime, but I don't know. I don't love it.
Well, you know, the thing with Treasure is you can always count on something unusual.
Yeah.
You know, it's always going to stand out regardless.
Yeah. Uh-oh. The prof is gonna get kidnapped again. The prof. That's a little voice acting here and there. Oh, so I can go back and play. I guess I do have more yellow things than I expected. Volcano. Western World. Aster's Lair. Okay, so it's like Aster's Lair, and then the next one is like the something else, and
It's like the Imperial Capital or whatever.
Two hours 6 minutes. I mean that. Maybe I can. Guess there's no way to like continue back to the title screen.
I do remember that cave level.
Oh, I guess I just did.
That's
by
the
holding down
beginning of
Z,
this world.
L, and
I
R.
remember it being a little confusing, so definitely a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Mischief maker.
Is that a different title screen? It looks different. Age 42. Is it just like... It just, like, it always keeps the same age. So it's like, oh, here's how old you were when you played this.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun,
kinda,
right?
Yeah, it's fun. I wonder if that has any effect on anything.
I don't think so. There's a 5 from Vanessaria. Thank you. Saying, just in case I missed the end of the show, sadly at work. Thank you as always. Super excited for Analog Frontiers 3. You guys are the best. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You're also the best.
The best.
The best. Age 42. Like, can you believe that that's like...
How old I am?
Well, that, sure. But it's just like, it's so funny seeing 42 on there when mine says like 16 or 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I played, I want to say that I got...
It affects the ending. That's what Max McCoy is saying.
Huh. I want to say that when I first got the game, when I was in high school, I think I got about to where you got tonight. And I think that's my like 16 or 17 file. But then I have another one that's like 22 or 23, I think. And that's the one that when I beat it. But still, like 22 is like almost half of what you entered there.
I know,
tonight.
right? That's silly. It's silly. I ain't gonna lie. Anyways, thank you everybody for the super chats and donations tonight. It was crazy. You guys are going nuts. It was wild. Everyone was wilding out. Look for, as long as nothing goes wrong, look for Analog Frontiers. You want to say like 11 Eastern?
I kind of like 11 o'clock for releasing a video.
Yeah.
11 Eastern.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to like only release on certain days?
Yeah.
What
I just don't like.
thing?
I don't like releasing on Sunday just because I feel like I'm paranoid that like the stream
We'll make it disappear from people's feeds.
will make it like disappear from people's feeds or something.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I don't know. That's just me being paranoid. It's probably not the case, but for some reason, I'm just paranoid that somehow that's going to make it more difficult for people to find.
yeah. I mean, 10:30. Can't wait to. I can't wait if it's after if it's at 11.
If it's at 11, Henry Clark wants 10:30.
Well, but if it's an hour long, so you'd have to stop in the middle.
Yeah.
You want to say let's do 10 o'clock just for Henry Clark special as a thank you for running the MLiG game club. I think we could do that.
I guess we can do 10 o'clock.
All right, I'll schedule that. Look for it at 10 o'clock. We'll do that for you, special for you. I can't watch the whole thing if it's after 11. I have a 12 p.m. meeting.
10 o'clock then.
Is 10 o'clock cool? Would anybody prefer 10 or 10:30? Because it looks like he can
I don't like releasing on the half hour because then it's harder to track the first.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
Statistics.
All right, so then let's do 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
And there was a last minute 2 Canadian from Breath of the Wild. Thank you, saying my PS5 feels like a paperweight after finishing Demon Souls. Well, I mean, I won't lie. Mine does a little bit too. Just be sure that if you're not playing any discs in it, you take it out, because whenever it's turned on and you're doing anything that doesn't actually involve playing a disc, or even if you are playing a disc game, it just randomly just goes on the disc drive, and I can like literally feel it through the floor. It's like, it's so over the top. I hope they like make it so that it doesn't read discs randomly during gameplay, because it's really stupid. It's louder than the PS4 Pro fan ever was. Otherwise, it's super quiet. It's really weird. And then last minute $2 from Jonathan G saying, you better smash that like button, Henry.
And now I can tell my kids that we said, smash that like button.
Smash that like button, y'all.
Be sure to comment, and subscribe, and smash that like button. Or smash that like button and comment and subscribe. We've never said that in a video, I don't think.
No, we haven't.
Ever.
Nope.
Anyways, good night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow in the in the video.
In a sense, and in some sense, we will see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.